Hey guys, Sanjay here, and we are going to be doing this solo. Rob actually couldn't make it tonight, so it's just going to be me, myself, and I. And hopefully, I can steer this ship pretty well while the captain is away. Um, but hey, I'll do my best impression of Rob. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I have had a great weekend. I had to work yesterday, so um, things have been kind of busy. I recorded a video today on this guy, my wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Oris Pro Pilot Big Date, Oris Big Crown Pro Pilot Big Date. Um, so yeah, been a busy weekend. How are you guys doing? Let me know. Let me know what you guys are wearing, and yeah, we'll get started. Hopefully, this will go well. I'm kind of dressed up because I was at church today. The kids didn't go down too easily, so I'm just a bit scattered. Uh, this is gonna be fun. Hopefully, I don't mess up. Um, but and I have access to Rob's YouTube channel. So if you want me to mess with him, let me know what I can do. All right, here we go. Hey, Junior Johnson, you were first. Well done. Underachieving watch collector. Welcome, my friend. Thanks for joining us. And Bruce, thanks for joining us. Um, hey, Engineer Wannabe. He's got a really nice Grand Seiko collection, apparently. So, hey, man, how's it going? Peter, good to see you. Hey, Peter. Um, and who else? Who else? Keith. Hey, Keith, good to see you as well. And Joe, good to see you, man. Wilson as well. Thanks for joining us, or me, myself, and I. Um, but yeah, Rist Ross, good to see you as well. Sorry if I missed anyone. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you guys are wearing, and I will get back to that soon. We're not going to do the mailbag thingy because I didn't get a chance to clip some comments. I don't think there were a lot of comments in the video. The last I saw, there was only one or two, so no mailbag. So we'll switch to the what's it called? The reviews of the week. Reviews of the week. I have a few that happened this week. Towards the end of last week, or the beginning of last week, if you count Sunday as the first day of the week, we had Jenny L and Bark and Jack, Adrian from Bark and Jack, do a video on the AP Royal Oak. I think Adrian did a video on the Jumbo. Jenny L did a video on the 37 millimeter one, which friend of the channel, Penny, got all in her movements. Check her out. So it was the two great videos. I learned a couple of things that I didn't know about the Royal Oak. It's probably one of my favorite watches of all time. I kind of like that industrial, brutalistic look. So I didn't realize that the movement was kind of archaic on it. At least that's what Adrian said. And Jenny L posed a few interesting perspectives as well. So that was great. Watchfinder, again, last week, beginning of last week, posted a video on the Grand Seiko SBG V245. The guy with the talking hands, or the talking hands guy, he actually owns this piece. And that was a cool video. He got it for a steal before it was cool. So he put on his hipster cap, and he called himself a hipster too. So that's great. And I guess I'm a bit of a hipster. I'm a bit of a millennial. So let me enjoy my avocado croissant with my LaCroix, or whatever that drink is that us millennials enjoy. Bruce Williams did a great video on the Grand Seiko White Birch. His dad actually purchased it. So it's a great video. He complimented the bracelet. He complimented the more tool utilitarian look, less Zaratsu polishing utilitarian look at the White Birch. And he thought it was worth the money. I think it's worth the money too. TGV did a video on the Captain Willard. So that was interesting. He went into the history of the Captain Willard. I know a lot of people aren't, at least TGV doesn't rub a lot of people the right way. But it's an interesting video. I enjoyed it. So yeah, let's see how this goes. We're back to the chat. Rashawn, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. I really enjoyed the chat you had um, with Rob on Friday night. That was a fun chat. Kevin, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Kevin is wearing his SPB 149, beautiful blue dialed 62 mass reinterpretation. Blue shirt Buddha Bruce is wearing his bluesy as always, beautiful piece. Wilson's wearing his Pelagos. What color? Blue. Jeffrey Deach, good to see you. Honeymooning with the Yachtmaster, very cool. Peter is still wearing his Zin 104. Very nice. Roar of the Tiger, thanks for joining us. Mess mightily. I sure will mess mightily. Hey, Bobby, how's it going? Whoops, chat jumped. That's great. Pete, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Not so obvious watches. Daniel, oh, you tried the white birch. That's great. I'm actually keeping myself away from the white birch because I know I will do something I regret. I'll probably sell my SBGJ 201, which is the Mount Iwate 44 GS case, GMT. I feel like I'd sell it if I saw the white birch and fell head over heels in love with it. And I know I will regret selling that. And knowing myself, I am keeping myself away from the white birch. Bobby Legs is the imaginary friend today. Yep. Zen 105 UTC on Joe's Rest. Very cool. Hey, Jason, good to see you. James, good to see you as well. All right. Okay. Jared, thanks for joining us. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Bobby is wearing his Milgauss Z Blue. Really cool Rolex. Probably one of my favorites. And James is wearing the mid-size Seamaster. Oh, one I used to own, but I flipped. Jared's wearing the Cocktail Time Starb 065, the OG Cocktail Time. Very cool. This new GSGMTs are killer. Stay away. Yeah. Kevin says the white birch is fire. And don't try on what you can't buy. My rule. That's true. Yeah. But I could make it work, right? I could. I'll own the white birch in less than a month. My AD who's nearby actually sold the second white birch that they got in. So I'm out of luck for now, which is good. Which is good. Ep, good to see you as well. EP RFA. I'm just used to calling you Ep because Amin and them call you Ep. Hope that's okay. All right, the first video. Let me pull this up here. And yeah, as we chat about this video, let me know what you guys think, whether you agree or disagree. We are going to be talking about the Hodinkee talking with watches. We kind of have to, right? And I was kind of hoping Rob would be here to talk about that because those are some watches that he has that I am kind of out of my depth on. But hey, a lot of experience in the chat. You guys are way more knowledgeable than I. So please chime in. Let me know what you guys think of all the watches that Mitchell Schwartz had. But I guess, yeah, we'll start with that. We'll start with the talking watches with Mitchell Schwartz. So he is an American footballer, some kind of big guy. I don't know American football, so out of my depth there as well. He had an insane collection, as he should if he's on talking watches with Hodinkee. But yeah, he had a wide range of watches. He had the Hodinkee limited edition John Mayer, which I think is an absolutely hideous watch. I don't know why anyone likes that, but hey, people like what they like, and that's great. So he had the John Mayer Hodinkee watch. He had the Oxen Junior. The one that Joe from the chats has, not the exact same one, but this is a perpetual calendar, so a really cool watch. So that kind of stood out for me. Yes, Kevin, the G-Shock, the Hodinkee G-Shock. Oh, was there something else that he had? No, can't really remember. Bobby says Mitchell Schwartz is a great guy and a nice member of the Horology Talk. Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know that. Who's great in protecting Patrick Mahomes. Very cool. I'm guessing Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback. Um, I don't really know American football. But he had a Zeitwerk, I think, a Zeitwerk, and amazing timepiece there. He had a Submariner that was gifted to him by the coach. Really amazing story there, and of course they showed off the Super Bowl ring as well. But yeah, again, I'm kind of spitballing here, so if I'm missing any timepieces, let me know. That was really an interesting story, an interesting collection. Um, I wouldn't say it's probably the um, I wouldn't say it's probably the most exciting talking watches that I've seen. I think the talking watches with that Explorer guy who had the double red sub. I think that one was my favorite one. But yeah, I'm really bad with remembering those things. But that was one of my favorite talking watches with Hodinkee. Um, he had a JLC. Yes, he did have a JLC. Oh yeah, of course. How could I forget that crazy JLC? Really cool piece. Let's go back to the chat. Kevin says he owns that Hodinkee G-Shock. Haven't worn it yet, but how can you go wrong for the price? Yeah, that's fair. I just don't like the colors. It just looks old to me. No offense to anyone who owns it who loves those colors. I guess it kind of has a nostalgic feeling to it. Chaz from the Berg, good to see you, man. Rob is couldn't make it. Taking a break. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's tired. He's had a rough week. Don't read into that or anything. Now, the more I talk about it, the worse I make it. It's nothing bad, really, guys. But if you want me to mess with his YouTube channel, let me know. I can do that. Ha. Yes, Rashawn says his JLC is gorgeous. It really is. Pat, the QB have the zero line, the subs. Yeah, that's an excellent point. I'm sure that's a great point. Watch Lounge. Hey Chris, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Who is Patrick Mahomes? Probably a young Wayne Gretzky of football for you Canadians. I don't know hockey either. I grew up in Sri Lanka, so I know cricket. If you guys wanna talk cricket, by all means, cricket from a couple of decades ago, we'll do that. Or soccer. I know the Bundesliga, and a little bit of the Premier League, but really, I don't know any football. I don't know any hockey. I am an odd duck. It's supposed to look old. Yeah, it does look old. So, yeah, makes sense, and I can totally understand how someone would like it. It's just, as the great Rob would say, not for me. Not for me, man. Not for me. Kevin's asking thoughts on collaboration between AP and Marvel. I saw the video on AP's Insta today. Looks a bit weird. I actually haven't seen that. That sounds interesting. Maybe we'll look into that soon. But AP and Marvel, wow, I would not expect that. I would think maybe Seiko and Marvel. They've been collaborating with everyone lately. Street Fighter, Naruto. But AP and Marvel sounds interesting. Okay, Aziz Ansari. I haven't seen Aziz Ansari. That's interesting. Yeah, it does sound terrible. AP and Marvel. What do you guys think of that Fume dialed AP? That was interesting. But yeah, I do agree. in what Amin said. It kind of needs to be on a tapisserie dial, right? But hey, I'm not any authority on that. Okay, so let's move on to the next video. Daniel, as always, with his zingers. Nice Moser. That's great. Okay, so let's talk about the WatchBox video. Watches tonight. No, not watches tonight. Is that what it's called? I'm kind of drawing a blank here, but the big Monday night WatchBox show. That was a good, interesting topic. They were talking about $5,000 watches and under, so 5,000 USD and under, watches that you can buy today. And it was a few interesting ones. Two Omegas, one Grand Seiko, and I'm again drawing a blank, but maybe it'll come back to me. Yeah, I think that was a really interesting video. Which one would you guys have gone with of the five that they picked? I would go with the Oyster Quartz. I mean, I really love the Rolex Oyster Quartz, and it's kind of why I got the Tudor Royal as well. It has a really strong Rolex Oyster Quartz feeling to it. But there was a podcast with Eric Wind in the 10 and 2 podcast, and he talked about the Beta 21 movement being really hard to restore. If there was an issue with it, you kind of have to replace it, and there's not a lot of replacement parts. When I heard that, I kind of stopped looking at the Oyster Quartz as an option. Yeah, Daniel mentioned just now that you can't really service the Oyster Quartz, and yeah, that's kind of why I stopped looking at it as an option. And sure, it might be under $5,000 right now, but I really don't want to go through the headache of if something goes wrong. I really don't want to go through the headache of trying to fix it and trying to find parts. That's not for me. But the Omega Speedmaster X33, now that's a cool timepiece. And he mentioned that the previous gen one, I think, was what was mentioned, and that one is simple to use. It's intuitive to use, and I don't have a lot of experience with the X33 or the AniDigi Speedmasters, but it looks really cool, and I'd own it if I had the opportunity to buy it. GS was the Skyflake, as Joe mentioned, and Joe did own it, the Skyflake. I really I really enjoyed the Skyflake, but I thought it was a bit too big for my wrist when I did try it. It wore larger than the dimensions suggested, and it was thick. It was really thick, and it had a kettle kind of shaped case. So in a sense, I almost preferred the Snowflake over the Skyflake, but the dial is absolutely magnificent. I think Grand Seiko kind of, in my opinion, kind of crashed and burned a little bit with the Skyflake, though. It's still a good watch. Just yeah, not to my taste. It's kind of clumsy in to me. I don't know if you agree, Joe, Philly watch fan. And what else? The Aquaterra, of course. The Aquaterra was the first choice, and in 38.5 millimeters with the 8800 movement, coaxial movement. I think it's a great buy at that price on a bracelet. It's really hard to go wrong with the Aquaterra. You buy pre-owned, you don't lose a lot of money. So he made a great few points there. And yeah, it was a great video. It was a lot of fun. So I was kind of at the edge of my seat listening to that video. I didn't really watch it. I kind of listened to it. A lot of the watches tonight shows are kind of good for listening. I don't really spend much time watching those. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, as usual. Let's go to the chat. I think the green fume dial will lose its novelty after a year. Talking about the AP green fume dial, it's true. Roar of the Tiger. Says the last Marvel and DC collabs have been with Invicta. Yeah, that's that's not a good resume. Let's see, Skyflake. I think I posted that before. Skyflake was the GS. Kevin S. pointing out the Oyster Quartz is very difficult to service. Wilson saying, I am an Oyster Quartz fan. Great tech for its time. I too am an Oyster Quartz fan. I find it fascinating that they use a Swiss lever escapement on a quartz movement. I find that absolutely fascinating. Great stuff. But you're a wannabe engineer. Can't you fix it? I probably would try and horribly ruin it. If you check out my channel, I've done some really stupid stuff with straps, with bracelets. I grinded down a bracelet to make it work on a watch. Don't do that. It looked horrible, but I was kidding myself. Yeah. Daniel Lee says he doesn't like the first gen the X33, but he likes the current one. Okay. I am not well versed in either one, but according to Tim Mosso, the current one is complicated, and you need to go through a serious course to learn how to use it. I'm sure he's exaggerating. Yeah, there you go. Kevin said just that. Name Skyflake reminds me of the brand of crackers found in Asian markets. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah, Skyflake, yeah. X33 is the new moon watch. Yeah, that's a good point. Not a fan of snowflakes too woke for me. Yeah. I would get a new 40mm GS GMT used just over 5K. That's a good point. They are going for quite a bit of a discount, I've noticed. They don't seem to be flying off the shelves as it was expected. Skyflake dial is greater than the Snowflake dial. Snowflake case and bracelet is greater than the Skyflake. That's why I moved on. Totally agree. Yeah. We are on the same page there, Joe. Royal Oak is not the proper watch for Fume. Yeah, absolutely. It looks strange. Citizen has some Marvel watches. Good to know. Don Cheadle is evidently a big AP fan. He was in the AP video. Don Cheadle, is that the guy who played I'm gonna make a fool of myself here, but was he the guy who played the sidekick for Iron Man? You know, the guy with the turret coming out of his shoulder. I don't know. Is green even a novelty color anymore, or is it just a fourth option? Black, white, blue, green. I would say it's a fourth option, especially with all the green Seikos coming out. I think when Seiko starts to overdo a color, it's probably hit critical mass. Citizen also has a Star Wars collaboration. Chris asking, have you seen the new 6K Citizen? That's crazy, but what a lot of people don't know is Citizen owns Arnold and Sons. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, the 6K watch had that movement from, was it Le Joux Perret? It looks interesting. It's a good looking watch. Reminds me of the Chopek that came out not too long ago. Yeah. Wilson's asking me, what first attracted you to Grand Seiko and what has kept you on board as a fan? Spring Drive. Spring Drive attracted me to Grand Seiko. I didn't think I'd ever get to own a Spring Drive when I was brand new to the watch collecting hobby. I thought that was my goal to hit, but you know, I had a couple of good deals while I was collecting watches. I got a Spring Drive watch, which was the Snowflake, the second Grand Seiko I got. First one was a 9F SBGX 261, I believe. And then I moved on to 263, the Champagne dial. Moved on to the Snowflake and loved it for a while. It taught me to be okay with scratches, but I sold it on before I was okay with scratches. And just the tech. I really enjoy the tech Grand Seiko. That keeps me going. I really enjoy the fact that you get a case that is hand finished, so that keeps me going in Grand Seiko's direction. Um, and I guess that about does it. I enjoy that it's hand finished. I enjoy the tech, and there's that new Constant Force tourbillon coming out soon. Not really sure why they're doing that, but hey, it's a way to flex, and so more power to them. Keep going, make that Constant Force tourbillon. Okay, I'm good. The Air Force officer in Iron Man. I forget what that machine. War Machine. Thank you, Kevin. There you go. I am. It's been a while. It's been a while. Okay, let's move on. Next up, let's do. This was one of Rob's picks, and he wanted to shout out Josh from the Town Watch. So everyone, go check out Josh from the Town Watch. He's got a healthy channel, and it's not a big player channel, not yet at least. But he brought up the watch rebuys, and we kind of talked about this on my live stream a couple of weeks ago as well. I shouldn't say my live stream; it's kind of our live stream. So yeah, we talked about the rebuy, and Josh actually rebought a Citizen ProMaster Tough, a PVD coated Citizen watch. Looks tough. I'm not too familiar with the Citizen ProMaster Tough, but it looks like a great watch. It's an Eco Drive or Echo Drive, as some people say, and yeah, I mean, he has a different ProMaster Tough, and he thought he wouldn't want to keep the black one. He sold it on, and then he got it back. He found a deal on it, and he got it back. So yeah, have you guys done a rebuy? There's a bigger audience here than there was when I did my live stream. So a lot of you guys, I'd like to know if you've bought anything again. I've done it multiple times. I'm ashamed to say that I have, but I have an Oris Aquas Clean Ocean, which looks a lot like the Caliber 400. The reason I bought the Caliber 400 so quickly was because it looked like the Clean Ocean. I rebought the Clean Ocean a couple of weeks ago. The reason I rebought the Clean Ocean was it was the watch I wore to my third child's birth. My third child actually, some of you have heard the story, but my third child actually was a month early, and I was planning to, wear this amazing Grand Seiko to his birth. I got into watches right after my second child's birth, so I didn't wear anything cool to my daughter's birth. But so for my third child, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear this cool Grand Seiko. I'm gonna imbue it with this memory of being there when he comes out. That didn't go as planned. The baby came a month early, threw what was on my side table on my wrist, ran out, and that was the one I wore. So I did sell it on because I didn't intend to. I mean, I was thinking of keeping it, but I got an opportunity, I think, to trade it toward I think it was the Pelagos. So back in the day when I bought the Pelagos, I traded it for the Pelagos, and I got the opportunity to buy it again. I bought it again. That's the story. So I don't know. Have you guys rebought something from your past watch collecting escapades? Let's go back into the chat. Han says those GS are too thick for dressy watches, in my honest opinion. Yeah, a lot of them are. But I have a SBGY 003, excellent size for a dress watch. Really thin, 10.2 millimeters, manual wound, spring drive. What do you think of GS Champagne dials? Love them, but worry they would be too understated. I really like them. They are very understated. They're more silvery than champagne, but when the light hits it just right, I'm sure you've seen plenty of them. But yeah, they're okay. I wouldn't say they're really understated. They're more overstated than a black dial, so I wouldn't worry about that. It does pop, so if you like it, go for it. I love GS. They do things that tick me off here and there, but I love the overall brand. Yeah. Here. All right. Let's see. Let's see if you guys rebought anything. I need a black sport watch, maybe a Hydro Conquest. Yeah. The all ceramic black Hydro Conquest. That'd be cool. I'm going to be rebuying the resulting Super Ocean Heritage 2 at some point. I missed that one. Okay. Is that the one with the lugs that curve out kind of like fangs? Am I thinking of the right one, or am I thinking of? Wait, the Heritage 57 is the one with the bowl-shaped bezel. So you're probably talking about the one with the fangs, fang lugs. Mark P, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Joe says, I've sold a lot of watches, never rebought anything. Can't see myself doing it. James says he rebought the Citizen ProMaster Diver when I found it on the bracelet. Interesting. Daniel says, legs on the Hydro Conquest are 5 miles long. They really are long. I'd never be able to pull one off. I had the 39mm Hydro Conquest, which they've discontinued for some strange reason. That worked, but yeah, they are long. All their watches have long lugs for some reason. All right, let's move on. Yeah, it's weird without Rob, man. It's just me talking here. Okay, last one. Maybe we'll have a bonus one after, because one came out yesterday that was kind of cool. But Bruce Williams would be the last topic of interest. Bruce Williams posted a video, and it was titled as if, it was titled the Tudor Black Bay GMT. And he kind of did a review in the GMT, but it was more of a, a heart-to-heart. He was talking about finding happiness in this hobby. So basically talking about whether it's okay to settle for something in the watch hobby. Hey, Wilson, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Peter, thank you so much. Hey, wow, all the encouragement. That's great. Rob is okay. He's tired. He's sleeping probably. Yeah. So Bruce Williams was talking about settling in the hobby. So basically, if someone wants a Rolex GMT Pepsi and it's not in the cards, as he said, it's unlikely that we'd be ever able to get one. Would it be okay to settle for, say, the Tudor Black Bay GMT? And there are quite a lot of compromises with the Black Bay GMT, as you pointed out. There is the fact that it's a thick watch. It's a really thick watch, as most of the Black Bay lineup is. It's a thick watch. Other than that, I mean, it's got this weird rivet bracelet. It's got the snowflake hands. It is a true GMT though, which is good. And in the end, it's not quite there. It doesn't have the brand clout, the cachet of being a Rolex. And some people would call it an homage, even though Bruce says he gives it a pass because it's owned by the same company. And I don't know how to feel about that. I've never been attracted to the Tudor Black Bay GMT because it's a bit of an homage, but then I have a Tudor Royal, so I'm a hypocrite. But yeah, so settling for something, would that be something you guys are okay with? We kind of are a finicky bunch when it comes to watch collecting, and generally it's better, I think, if you have your heart set on, say, the AP Royal Oak. If you really love the AP Royal Oak, but you go with what's a good homage? I wouldn't say Maurice Lacroix icon. There's like a 1-to-1 homages out there. Bagel Sport, let's bagel sport. If you go for a bagel sport when you want the Patek Nautilus, um, you're doing yourself a disservice. Basically, is what he was saying. It's basically I agree with it. You really don't want to be settling like that, getting something that that you love, but then if you really know that you won't be able to attain it, you won't be able to reach it. um, uh, is it okay to get a bagel sport? Is it okay to get a bagel sport instead of a 5711? uh, you know uh, I don't think so. I think it's really, um, it's better to not own. I mean, it's just my opinion, and I'm kind of thinking out loud here, but I would say it's better to not own the 5711 than to ruin it for you by owning a bagel sport. But we're weird, right? I know I'm weird, compared to, say, Joe Blow, or a layperson who really likes a 5711 and couldn't care less, just wants the look, goes for the bagel sport. It's fine, I suppose. And I wouldn't fault that person for doing that. But us as watch enthusiasts, you and um, I think it's a huge disservice to do to yourself. It's better to not own such a piece. It's better to never own the 5711 and admire it from a distance than to wreck it for you by getting a bagel sport. At least that's how I feel. What do you guys think? Is that fair? Is that unfair? Am I being too harsh? Am I being too snobby? I don't think so, but maybe I am. Let's see what you guys think. Let's see. Where did I stop? Where did I stop? Piaget. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Mr. Casio says, I have one main watch and lots of toys for occasions and fun. That's interesting. I have two keepers. I know a lot of people don't like saying keepers, especially me, because I'm a flipper. Not for profit, but I'm just a flipper. But I have two that I would really prefer to keep for the rest of my life. So I guess that would be my two. Kevin says he didn't care for Bruce's video about the BBGMT. The BBGMT is a great watch in its own right. It's only settling if you're infatuated with Rolex. That's a good point. If you really like the Black Beat GMT and that is the watch you want, um, yeah, you should go for that. That's a really good point. If you like it for its own merits rather than thinking of the Rolex, yeah, that's a great point, Kevin. Daniel says, I wouldn't touch the BBGMT. I think the movement has a flaw. It needs to be redesigned. Yep, it did have that date change flaw. I thought they fixed it, but maybe not. I thought they did something with it. I'm not sure. The Tudor Black BGMT is a fantastic watch. Planet Oceans are way thicker. You are right. Planet Oceans are bad. 16, 17 millimeters, even when it comes to the chronographs. Yeah. I wanted a Pepsi, but settled for a root beer. No regrets. Yeah, I wouldn't regret that. That's an upgrade, isn't it? I would think that's an upgrade. Mark P says it's genuinely a great live stream, welcoming, fun, and informative. I should get in on that. I missed that conversation though. Sorry, guys. Thanks, Hans. That's that's I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great night. Rest up. It's a long week ahead. Jean-Claude Beaver. Jean-Claude Beaver. Hey, Velez, working away and have you guys on the background. Good. Thanks for joining us, man. Just in EDC, I can this because I'm okay. All right, Mr. Casio was mentioning the BR05. Yep, that would be one of the homages. It's I don't know. I wouldn't like calling that an homage. It's got its own thing. I don't know. BR05. I would never own it. but I don't think I could, in good conscience, call it an homage. Maybe a multiple homage, maybe a compilation. I don't know. Yeah, just an EDC. Us watch people are weird. We are weird. Pete says, I never settle, so we'll never substitute. However, I will do an alternative. That is, Tudor GMT is a Pepsi substitute. JLC Master Compressor is an alternative. Oh, okay. Very interesting. I am not familiar with the JLC Master Compressor, but I will have to look into that. Chris says bagels. I like cinnamon myself. You guys have heard of the bagel sport, right? It's hilarious knockoff brand. Okay. Kevin S, buy what you like, what you can afford. I would just not buy a straight up copy. Here. Well said. Put cream cheese on bagels. Yeah. I would just buy a Seiko if I want an affordable watch. I can enjoy Seiko just as much as Rolex, not a fake homage watch. Yep. I hear you. Pierce A. Wilson, sorry, I missed Wilson. To each his own, buy what you like. Agreed. I hate selling watches. Rather hoard and think more between purchases. I'm kind of getting over toward that section too. Although every once in a while I get into like this consolidation mode. I don't know. I'm sure you guys go through that too. And then I feel like I have to sell or trade or something. I am at the controls. Hey, if you want me to mess with Rob, now's your chance before I lose access to his account. I hate selling watches as well, but dread the day they all come up for service. Yeah. Keeps me up at night. Not really. Find the colors of the Blackbeard GMT are better than the Rolex Pepsi. More retro and not as pink in the red color. Yeah, and the blue kind of looks purpley, right? Or is it the red that looks purpley? I feel like the red, there was kind of a weird color mismatch there. I do agree. If you like the look of an AP Royal Oak, getting the BR05 isn't settling. It's buying something that's in the same design spirit while you wait for your Royal Oak. But that's not the same as a Bagel Sport to a 5711. Yeah, that's what I was kind of trying to articulate. The BR05 I don't think is a homage, right? Maybe in the truest sense of the word homage, like paying tribute, kind of honoring that design. Kind of like the Tudor Royal, I guess, is a homage in the purest sense of the word to the Royal Oak, to the Oyster Quartz, so on and so forth. Why do I keep bringing up the Tudor Royal? I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Cassioke. It's not settling. It's kind of like an alternative. So I believe, at least. I'll say this much. I love having both the Explorer 2 and the Zin 105. Lots of overlap, but each have their place. Well said. We're just reading comments today. Hey, there's a lot of comments. I hate missing out on comments. I guess I should move on, huh? Okay, let's move on to bonus round, bonus video. Wait, let me uncheck this. Okay, the bonus video that came out yesterday was this whole thing from the Time Teller, and of course he's another guy that rubs a lot of people the wrong way, right? Mr. Freakout, Mr. Panic, Mr. needs a Valium, but I find him pretty entertaining, and he did a video yesterday talking about Alanga and Zona. How they have come up with this interesting marketing scheme, interesting purchase technique. How, and we kind of talked about this yesterday on our stream, but how they are requiring a purchase history in a sense to be able to purchase a watch that is over $50,000. And yeah, Kevin yesterday pointed out how ridiculous it is. Who cares? It's $50,000. Not a lot of us will be able to ever afford that ever afford a Datograph or a Zeitwerk. But say we do, and say we would be able to afford it, we would have to purchase two Alangan zones that are under $50,000, and allegedly, of course, all of this is allegedly, and we would have to submit an application to purchase the great Datograph or the great Zeitwerk or anything on that upper tiers of Alangan zona. That seems kind of sketchy, kind of not the most. Why would you do that? Why would you not want people to buy your watches? Pete actually did a great video not too long ago. Was it yesterday as well? A couple of days ago. Pete from Not So Obvious Watches talking about how we kind of like being punished, and because we like being punished, we go back. We take the punishment and we go back. It was an interesting thing that a story I heard about Stalin, Joseph Stalin. I believe it was Joseph Stalin, how he plucked the feathers of a chicken when someone was interviewing him. When the interviewer basically asked him, why do you treat your people so poorly? Basically, I might be doing this story a really bad justice, but he asked someone to bring him a chicken. He plucked the feathers off the chicken and tossed the chicken aside, and the chicken came back to him to cuddle up next to him for warmth. For some reason, we, I guess, as people, enjoy being punished, and so the games go on with Rolex ADs. Games go on with Tudor when you're trying to get a Black Bay 58. I guess that was a thing. I think that's kind of stopping. There seems to be more supply now. But yeah, it was a great video from Pete at Not So Obvious Watches. And I guess this is another evidence of it. Alang and Zona trying to become like that next coveted brand, like Epi Journe, like Rolex, like Patek, and so they are basically plucking our feathers off. Not that we were going to spend $50,000 anyway. Not that, I mean, I can't speak for you guys. I'm never going to buy a Zeitwerk. I'm never going to buy a Datograph, even though I think the Datograph is really the best chronograph ever. But yeah, there you go. So he T3, or the time teller, he put a flashlight or spotlight on this matter with his video, and I find it really interesting. Were you guys ever aware of this? It seems like it's new news. I really hope it doesn't become a trend in the market. I kind of enjoy buying. I kind of enjoy being able to spend my money. So yeah, well, what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Let's see here. Daniel, you enjoyed or hated the BR05 initially, but seeing it in person, it's nice. I think I got a glance of it. I saw it through a glass. I didn't get to play with it, but yeah. Pete says, with you, Sanjay, on using homage, we should kill the word. It's a knockoff or it's a watch. Yeah, hey, there you go. I like being validated. Anyway, I'm joking there, by the way. Zin 105. I like the Zin 105. Didn't at first, but it's growing on me. I don't know the Zin 105. I know the 104. I know the 903. I know the 103. I know the 356. That's the small chronograph. I do not know the 105. Those are two great watches, Joe. Hey, okay, I shouldn't get into this. I'm really bad at chat comments, so I tend to get caught up in it. I guess I don't want to be called out for just reading comments. Let's see. Wilson loves the Zeitwerk date. Daniel, you can't watch Jory, pure clickbait. You know what? I really can't stand clickbait either. Some channels I watch quite often have turned into just clickbait, and mentioning Rolex for the sake of mentioning Rolex, that really bugs me. I don't know why. And I actually go the other way. I go out of my way to not watch that video if it's clickbaity enough. So yeah, I guess who cares, right? I'm just one guy. There's 500,000 other guys who are running toward the clickbait. So, oh well. Chris says it gets to be too much after a while. Peter was saying he can't watch him anymore. Kevin S says that he used to watch Jory, but not so much anymore. Too many rants for my taste. That's kind of, yeah. I guess rants are kind of like a train wreck. At first, they're interesting, but then you feel bad. Alaganzona didn't come up with it. Patek did do something similar. A friend of mine had to show the boutiques his social media profile before being offered a Patek. Oh, wow. Yikes. It's like border patrol stuff going on there. I did hear you have to kind of submit some sort of application to get a Patek. I'm too peasant-like to really know anything about that, though. I think they're going after the GS market. Smart move. I wish there was a way to thumbs up comments to say thanks. Kevin S says, most longers don't trade over retail anyway. Just buy on the secondary market. This will push more folks that way. Yeah, agreed. Good vid from Not So Obvious Watches. Bit of psych going on there. Yeah, Peter, always with the psychology. It's great. Keith likes the time teller. He's funny. His videos have great editing, and I love a good rant every now and then. Yeah, kind of a guilty pleasure, right, Keith? He's interesting. He's an interesting fella. I do like it when he kind of makes fun of names, like when he says Filippo Loretti or Vellucci or something like that. Yeah, so that's funny. I'm a simple man. Screw the wait lists or the games. If my money isn't good enough, same as everyone else's, then I don't want it or need it that bad. Yeah, agreed. Games are kind of tiring. Let's see. Oh, 105. 105 is the new GMT. Modern design. Okay, very cool. Next Rolex killer. Chaz is saying I'm doing great. Thank you, Chaz. I still like the idea of you putting your face on Rob's thumbnails. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I can do that, though. That would take so long. Federico recently said in an interview that if he puts Rolex in the title of the video, he gets 40% more views. Oof. Wow. On the wait lists and games, cue the Twilight Zone music. They decided his collection was worthy. Wow. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. Well, guys, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. I carried this on my back for 53 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you guys for joining me. Rob will be here next week, and I will take my sidekick role, and we'll have a great chat again next week. So be sure to join us. You can find me on YouTube as Engineer Wannabe, and Instagram, you can see right here at engineer_wannabe. You don't have to follow me. I just, I just do that because Rob asked me to. Thanks for the super chat, Rist Ross. That's great. You're very kind. Thanks so much. All right, guys. Hope you have a restful night. Hope you stay safe. You guys are all very valuable. I do appreciate you all. And time is short. I say that on my channel. Time is short. So yeah, see you guys next week. Bye, guys.